you must be like, I was in terms of writing and inspiration, you have so much around you in terms of where you live.
Yeah, Vermont.
Oh my gosh. And you can breathe so easily there. It's like you can take deep breaths all the time. Like, I don't know. It's like, again, I was only there once in my life, and it was like, gosh, close to maybe 20 years ago now, close to that. And I went with my sister, who like I'm introducing. I told her about you, because again, she is really into like thriller horror genre, and like she writes, she's very into like werewolves and vampires, you know.
Okay.
So but yeah, she has a dream of living in Vermont after our experience there. And it's just like, were you born and raised there?
Yes.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh, no wonder you're so happy. That's why that's why your name is Joy. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
it's funny, Paige, that you mentioned that about kind of just the atmosphere here. And I've read somewhere that Vermont has the highest per capita of all the United States of writers. And it's, you know, we're one of the very smallest states, but our number of writers and authors is like extremely high. And I attribute that to our very long, brutal winters, because you have to like escape in your imagination, otherwise you'll go insane. But I do feel like a lot of I love atmospheric books and movies, and I love when authors can really draw you in through the atmosphere. And so that plays a really big role in my writing. I almost feel like atmosphere is like a whole character that like comes along each time. Because I think so it's so fun to play with that and just kind of set the mood or change the mood or prepare the reader for something coming through, like the weather or the climate or the scenery.
And that's one of the things I love about this cover. I love this cover because it's like this, the whole autumn. It's interesting that I happen to be reading it right as we got into autumn and everything, but it's just like, I love the cover because it just is like, it just takes me straight to not just the story, but it actually I feel like it takes me into your heart and in your life, because I picture you in that environment too. You know what I mean? So yeah. So anyways.
Just one last question, because like, especially like with what you do and living in Vermont, like just take us through a day of JP Choquette. Like, you wake up in the morning, you laugh, and then like what? Just tell us.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. It's prepared to be underwhelmed. It's very boring most of my day. I get up really early before light. Usually my husband goes to work pretty early, so his alarm usually goes off around 5, sometimes 4, like this morning. So I get up very early, and my first task of the day is like devotions, quiet time. Just I have to kind of center myself and get ready for the day. So that's where I start. And then I try to squeeze in some movement and breakfast and shower and all that stuff. I try to get as much of that done as I can before my son goes to school, and then try to use the school day as kind of the bookends of my work day. So getting my writing done and working my projects for clients usually happen mostly during school hours. And then when he gets home, we kind of, everybody's kind of getting home at the same time, my husband and son at the same time. And so we try to kind of just reconnect and then do our boring old household chores and running errands and all that stuff. And I do love having kind of weekly rituals in my week. And I didn't used to when I was younger. I always thought like, oh, that's so boring. I don't want to do the same thing over and over. Like I don't like that. But as I get older, I'm really finding I love having those like kind of touchstones throughout the week. So one of my favorite things is on Saturday mornings, I like to get up fairly early, like 6:30ish. And I make a tea tray, and I get in my favorite chair with my blanket and my tea tray and a book or my journal or whatever. Sometimes I'm in like planning mode, and so I'll have my journal and I'll be like brainstorming, and if I'm really like feeling that energy, it's so fun. And then other times I'm looking at like art magazines or reading fiction or whatever, but it's just such a nice, I have like my classical music going, and
oh my gosh, I'm so there right now.
it's really lovely, and it really helps me even the rest of the week, just to know that I have that to look forward to. It doesn't happen every single Saturday, but for the most part that does. And then we try to keep Saturdays too as kind of like we call it family day. So we try to go like hiking or do something outside together if we can, or even indoors if necessary. But it's really just a slow day for us. And I really need that, and try to stay off of our devices as much as possible. Try to just, be quiet and enjoy ourselves and enjoy enjoy each other and enjoy nature. And
I love that. And I love that kind of, not just the rhythm of it, but also that taking time to live. I think this is one of the most important things that artists or anybody really can overlook. In terms of like, cause it's like, okay, there's the gotta get stuff done. Like it's, great to be disciplined and be consistent with your work and everything. But we also, so much of our inspiration comes from living and from experiencing life. So I love that you have these pockets in your life, the way it's just really beautiful.